Okay, you want consulting services? I'm a consultant today. Yeah, you want coaching? I'm a coach today. And that's a completely reactive state of mind, right? Like you're constantly changing based on what some external force or external market or somebody else wants, and you aren't proactively going anywhere. And there's a reason that be proactive, not reactive, was Stephen Covey's first habit of highly effective people, which if you haven't read, I recommend checking out. And it's because if you're in a constant state of reaction, right? If that's your state of mind, you're not really going towards a destination. Imagine trying to build your dream house without a clear vision of what it's supposed to look like, right? Like if you don't have a vision of what it's supposed to look like, you can't build a blueprint. If you can't build a blueprint, you can't get the foundation in place and you can't get everything else in place. That's what it's like when you're trying to build a business or drive revenue or build a service company when you don't have a vision of what it is that you're building. You don't have a clear picture of what you're building. You're building something reactively, and that is what's keeping you from hitting that 7-figure mark. Dream house, blueprint, now we've got a plan, now we can execute. And that's what I recommend doing if you're struggling to get to 7 figures. When you started your service business, you thought, what can I do, right? Like, what am I good at? What are my strengths? What is my experience? And then you said, okay, how can I go market these things to as many companies as possible? And you went out and found as many people as you could that would hire you for your strengths and your experiences. That's an employee state of mind, right? Like that's what employees think. They think, what are my strengths? What are my experiences? How can I leverage that and sell that as a service? And you need part of that. But what you really need to do is think like an entrepreneur. You need to say, what is the problem that I solve? And who is the market, or what is the market that I solve it for? That is how employees are thinking. They are thinking, how can I build a process or a product or a solution to solve a specific problem for a specific market? When you do that, it makes everything else in the business easier, right? Like your marketing gets really clear because you know who you're marketing to, you know exactly what you're marketing. Your sales gets easier because you're selling a specific thing. You're not using sales calls as like a fishing expedition trying to figure out what are your problems and how can I find a way to say that I can solve them. And most importantly, once you market and sell those services, it's easier to deliver those services because you're consistently solving a similar problem for a similar market. So everything in the business basically gets easier when you define your niche.